Well, here we are today outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We've come to see this Vector Blue IS500 F Sport Performance, a car I haven't driven yet, so let's check it out. So I have not done a car review in a while. I haven't been in a Lexus sedan for quite a while other than my LS460. It'll be really nice to check this thing out. I've driven an IS350 F Sport of this generation, and if you follow the channel for a while, you'll know that I had an IS350 second gen, two of them, one I supercharged, and then I had an ISF. So how does the IS500 compare to the ISF? Well, that's kind of the question I want to answer today. It's a different car. There's a lot of updates. It's a new generation, but it's still an IS at heart, and it still has that 5-liter V8 2UR GSE engine with the rear-wheel drive drivetrain. So it's going to be really cool to check out. We have this car courtesy of Frank, and you'll see him later in the video, and he's going to explain kind of some of the stuff about the car. We're going to take it for a ride and see how it is. So here it is, a 2024 Lexus IS500 F Sport Performance. So yes, this isn't a F car by definition, but it's pretty much there. And this color is amazing. I love this color. I love blue cars. I had a ultrasonic blue IS, but I like this color better, I think. It just really pops out at you. You can't miss it. Looks great, especially I love how aggressive the rear is. This one is one of 150 in the US. So this color is actually very rare. So if you have an IS500, it's pretty rare to begin with. And then you have an IS500 in Vector Blue like this. It's awesome. And this has some aftermarket wheels, which we'll hear about in a second. And yeah, this thing looks so good. And I'm really curious to see the driving dynamics of it compared to my experience in an RCF and an ISF. So this IS500 is in the video today, courtesy of Frank, the owner here.
Hey.
This is actually your second IS500,
Correct.
Right? What color did you have before this?
So I had an infrared one for about 18 months, and then the Vector Blue came out, and I kind of had to have it.
What was your reasoning to get this car?
So, I mean, besides the simple, I saw the blue and wanted blue. I've always kind of had red cars, and then there were more rare blue variants that kind of happened. So I had an S2000 first. And then the more rare version was the Apex Blue CR, which I obviously couldn't afford. I had a 2016 WRX in pure red. They had the Hyper Blue, which was the same model year as the one that I had, and I didn't want the STI for obvious reasons because, you know, the EJs aren't that great. But then this happened. I had the infrared, loved the red on the car. It was a tri-coat color. It was great. But then the Vector Blue came out, and I just kind of looked at it, and I'm like, I'm not going to stop not getting the blue car because I have the red car. So it just kind of happened like that. And it worked because I also ordered these wheels when I had the red car. I committed to having these color changing wheels, and then they happened to match the blue car, which I was very happy about.
Yeah, this is a striking color combination.
Yeah.
And these are, what are these wheels?
These are Work ZR10s in Asterism Black. I had to wait like 5 months to get them, and I was pretty committed. I placed the order with the red car, and then 2 weeks later I decided that I wanted the blue car. So I'm very glad that the color combination worked on the blue too, so I didn't have to order new wheels. These are Yokohama, I believe they're Apex All Seasons. The stock tires on these cars leave a lot to be desired, as you might know from the 500 groups. But so I actually gave the dealer my stock tires when I traded my red one in to help with my trade-in value. And I kept my old Michelin All Seasons that I had that are on the stock BBSs in my crawl space, and I just ordered these Yokohamas just so I didn't have to swap the other tires off, and I could have 2 full sets I could swap on and off if I need to.
Yeah, it helps you were going from the same car.
Yeah, exactly. It's very useful.
So what made you choose this over, say, like an RCF?
So it's mostly my son. I have a 5-year-old who loves being in my cars, so I needed a car seat. I know I could have plausibly done a coupe, and I know the RCF has the seats where you press the button and motorizes up, but I can open the door, I can chuck him in, and he loves it. It's got a little bit more back seat space for him, and I needed a sedan. I mean, I'm a dad. I have one fun car, and this is what I got, so I needed 4 doors for it.
Yeah, I'd say you made a good choice. I like this thing. Let's pop the hood. Check out the 5-liter 2UR GSE. Yep, looks like an F car pretty much. It's got the F Sport badge.
It doesn't have the blue plenum, unfortunately, which I am very sad about.
And you have adaptive suspension.
Yes.
Has all the modern tech that the ISF never had. I really liked the GSF. I mean, that was like the car I wanted. But after seeing
me too,
this,
but the market on the GSFs just went crazy and I couldn't buy one. That was kind of the goal in late 2019, early 2020. I wanted a GSF. I know they were creeping down into like the mid 40s range. You could get a nice one, and that was honestly the goal. And then right as I was about to pull the trigger, the pandemic happened. I freeze for 6 months, and the GSF market went through the roof. And I'm like, if I'm going to spend 60 grand on a GSF, I might as well spend 60 grand on a brand new IS 500. So
right, you get the warranty, and this is a smaller, more nimble car.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, man, this thing is sharp. We'll take a look at the interior real quick. It has the blue stitching, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, all the modern Lexuses have that kind of same design. It is very just like a lot of plastics and very black, but I think it works.
It's very functional.
It's functional, yeah. It's not super chrome and blingy,
Yeah.
but it's very functional.
And the big thing that I love, it's got that 360-degree camera. Like, you put it in reverse, it shows all the sides, a top-down view, which it's nice if you're parking in a weird area or you want to get 2 inches to a curb and you don't want to curb your wheels. It's really nice to have that. That was actually one of the draw points of when I got the car. Before I knew that like you couldn't really get a base model, you had to get a premium. I wanted a premium to make sure I could get that camera system on it because it's just so nice to have.
If you are interested in these mud guards, Frank actually makes them, and the information for that will be on the screen and in the description below. If you're not familiar with Lexus and the performance side of Lexus, I mean, these are not going to keep up with your V8 twin turbo stuff. I mean, the Germans are just pumping out these crazy numbers, crazy performance at crazy prices. But this is meant to be a more pure old school V8 rear wheel drive car. I mean, and you get that Lexus reliability, Toyota reliability built in. So, I mean, that's really the selling point of this car. But also F Sport and F have kind of confused a lot of people over the years. And I've had both, and what it is F Sport is just a sport package on top of the base car, or like a sport trim of the base car. So that's really what it is. It's still usually a V6, or you can get them in all-wheel drive. You have the 350 most of the time is what people go for. But the F Sport Performance is new. And with the IS 500, you get the V8 that was previously found in the F cars. And the F would be the top of the kind of performance pyramid. The F cars are pure track cars, track focused luxury sports cars. It's kind of weird. The F always had the most performance. Like the ISF, you get the 5-liter V8 rear wheel drive. They only come in rear wheel drive, and that's what the F car always was: ISF, GSF, RCF. Then the LS 500 came along and started to mix it up a little bit because it also had that engine, but it wasn't a true F car, but it's a sweet coupe. And then you have this. So this is the IS 500. So with 500 means 5-liter V8, but it's not a true F car, which is kind of strange. They could have just brought this back and called it the ISF. You know, people were waiting on the return of the ISF after it was discontinued in 2014, but this is what came about instead. And honestly, I'm not angry because it has a lot of the soul that the ISF had. And you can see it's 4th gen IS styling. You get the V8, you get rear wheel drive. I think it pretty much is the new ISF, and you can easily do some upgrades to these to make it such, like a bigger brakes, do some mods, headers.
It's a very common thing people do if they want to track these cars. They get all the RCF stock parts, bolt it right on, and they go racing.
There you go. So you can do all those things and make it a true F car. So now we kind of took a look at the car. Let's take it for a drive.
It's got just the mid pipe on it, so it's just enough to make some noise.
Yeah, it feels so solid and new. How many miles we have? 4,000?
Just crossed 4,000.
Okay, so here we are driving the IS 500. It feels a little wider than I thought it would. It actually feels more spacious in here than I thought it would too. The seating position's lower. I like this better than the other ISs I've been in. This is actually a great seating position. I feel like it's pretty comfortable, and transmission is very responsive. Got that nice blip downshift, kind of like the ISF. I think this is a pretty similar transmission, being the 8-speed that is used in so many F cars and F Sport performances alike. Open it up a little bit. Sounds so good. Yeah, that feels good. That's solid. The question I kind of wanted to answer to myself and to viewers is the IS500 a suitable replacement for the ISF? And just within 15 minutes of being around it, I want to say yes. Because, I mean, this is way better ride quality. The ISF is very stiff. You get all the new tech, and you still get the same drivetrain. It's actually been updated, because the ISF was 416 horsepower.
Yes.
And this is 472. And I think how they have achieved that with the RCF, GSF, is a different head design, I believe different header design, possibly.
I believe it's slightly higher compression.
Higher compression and different tune as well. And I think all of those together, you get that extra horsepower. It'd just be nice if they had, it was 500 horsepower, because it's the IS500.
Yeah, right.
Swamp Road for 3/4 of a mile.
Let her eat. So now we are in sport mode. Shifts faster. I knew it. The downshift is like way more aggressive.
All right. It just makes you smirk, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's funny because this is with a mid-pipe. With the stock exhaust, it's like whisper quiet. It's almost painful how quiet they make these things stock.
When there's some loose dirt, you can feel it. It's like, don't worry, I won't crash your car. I'll try not to, at least.
It's not a lot of runoff. And by not, I mean none.
These tires are pretty decent too. Downshifting on a turn, I know you're not supposed to, but
It'll handle it.
all right. Let's see, 30, but we're approaching it faster than that. Oh yeah, turn in real good with this thing. So there it is, the IS500. Got to drive it around a couple of these roads here and kind of experience it for the first time. Yeah, I think it's every sense of what the ISF was in a newer package. I don't really get the impression that it's just an F Sport or it's not good enough or it doesn't live up to the ISF. I think it's that and then some. And I really enjoyed driving it. I definitely think they're cool, and I definitely still want one. So this kind of secured that. I mean, I've always liked them and been interested, and after driving one, of course I want one. So that's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely drop a comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Hit subscribe to follow along with future videos, and let me know what you think of the IS500 in the comments. And we're going to pick up some wheels, LS430 wheels for the ES330. There we go. Got some chromies. Obviously these are going to need to be redone and powder coated, but we got them. Brought the Ioniq along for cargo duties. There we go. Just, with all that said, thank you for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at Marty Motoring and keep those wheels turning.